I am Thai Nigerian.
I am half Thai and Malian.
I am quarter Thai, quarter American, and half Nigerian.
There were so many bad moments. I cannot even say which one is the worst moment, but I can say one of the most horrible moments was when my friends from my neighborhood stopped playing with me. They called me Negro, or in Thai, Nigo, and they did not want to play with a black person. This happened so many years ago, but the memory is still so vivid to me, and I just do not want people to go through that.
That will be joining a new school in grade 7, which is Mathayom 1 in Thailand. I remember like every time a thing got missing in the classroom, I was the first person that got searched. I didn't understand why they searched me first, but I think I understand now. I was the only black kid in the school, and the perception of black person is not good in Thailand at all.
Well, I don't exactly remember everything just because as I was growing up, I tried to erase all those bad things that were happening to me. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. So the things I remember was that I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. I went to a Thai school. So my sister and I, at the time, she was in bilingual school, which was like Thai English, and there weren't any foreigners. And I would say it was traumatic. They made fun of me all the time, every single day. They always call me Nico, which is obviously a Thai version of Negro or nigger. So back then, I didn't really think much of it. That word, I mean, I knew that being bullied was already a bad thing, and I would go back home and I would cry every single day because of that. But then I didn't even know about slaveries. Like, they didn't teach us that, and my parents didn't tell us about that yet. It took them a while to tell us, but that was it. I didn't know that the word nigger or negro has a heavy weight to it. And yeah, my parents knew at some point that it was getting really bad, so then they sent us to an international school. And I thought it would be better. I really did, because I saw a few African Americans, and it was pretty cool, seeing people of your skin color and your age and all that. But it didn't end. There were a few Thai kids that were a bit racist. Yeah, I questioned that a lot until this very day.
I have to admit, yes, definitely happened multiple times growing up. I struggle finding my own identity. I wish many times that I have a different skin color. You turn around looking at billboard, every culture around you telling you that be white, it's prettier. Have a straight hair, it's prettier.
Oh, I never ever wished to be white or not black, honestly. I'm actually surprised. Like, when I think back, I remember how much I suffered, but I never wished to be in a different color, different race. Like, who is Martina if she's not black, honestly?
I think at one point of my life, I wished to be lighter because in Thailand, being white is greatly celebrated by the society. People think that if you have the lighter skin, then you are the prettiest. If you have the lighter skin, then you gain more respect. But I can see now I am proud of who I am. I'm proud of my skin color, and I am more confident than I can ever be.
I wish they know that it hurts. Like, I wouldn't want to wish this to my worst enemy, but people seem to be very ignorant and very egotistic. Just because you are white does not make you any better. And just because you feel like you're part of the majority, honestly, it's ridiculous. Just because we're black or Asians or whatever color we are. That does not give you the right.
I wish people know the actual meaning of racism. Racism is the belief or the idea that a particular race is superior or inferior to another. Racism is negativity. Racism is an illness, and racism will never end if we don't start having a conversation about it, on how we can find the solutions to fix this issue, on how racism will never be repeated. We really need to start finding the solution.
And it is also very racist when people appropriate my culture and they feel like it's okay, but it's not. Like all these trends, you know, having this big booty, tan skin, curly hair, braids, big lips. That's us. I mean, look at me. I'm like the living proof of it. People think it's fine. And these dances that people like, some food, I guess, I don't know, music. And yeah, I just wish people know that that's considered racist. Honestly, I would say it. Like, you want to be my culture, but you cannot stand up for me. Like, I know a lot of people who appropriate my culture, our culture, but when it's time to speak up and educate their friends, they don't do it.
That it hurt. It hurt when you judge someone based on their race or color of their skin. It hurt. Educate them that racism hurt. Educate them that black people have contributed a lot to the modern society. The refrigerator, the mobile phone, there's a lot of things that black people have contributed to the modern world, but that was not taught in school at all.
Okay, firstly, I feel like the education system should be brave enough to teach students about the cause, the start of racism, like how it links to historical incident in the past, how it linked to slavery. School needs to teach students about that, and they have to teach students on how they can be a better human, how they can love their friends, how they can care for them, how they see people, not because of their skin color, but because of their hearts. I feel like the school should start having this open conversation and have it often, not just once a month, but have this conversation often.
I feel like racism comes in different form. There are people who actually are educated, they know about the history of racism, and those who have no idea. At this point, it's actually really sad. I don't feel much towards people who are uneducated, but obviously it hurts. It's unacceptable, but I would say that I graduated from a Thai university, and most of my, not just Thai friends, but Asian friends do not even know the history of slavery. Like, they all use this slur, nigger and negro, so openly, and it's just so sad. They know what they're doing, but you know, it's not a cure to them. People feel like just because they're not black, they do not have to stand up for them. They can just still live in their ignorance, which is not good, because I've noticed, I have asked a few of my friends who are also Thai, Vietnamese, or Burma, or much more. They don't teach black history in schools. Not just black history, let's say history of the world, which is madness. Like, we're the citizen of the world. We deserve to know what have happened before us. But they don't do that. I feel like if this were taught, then it would be much better.
Wow. Racism has affected my life in so many ways. It has affected my confidence. It has affected my social life. It has affected how I view the world. That is actually not a very nice place. I just wish that people are nicer to us as black, and that they don't discriminate us because of who we are and where we're from and the color of our skin.
Yes, definitely. Growing up multiple times, there are a lot of things that I want to do as a kid that I didn't get to do just because I was black. I do not look the same. I do not fit into looking like a Thai person, and I am Thai.
It just ruined my childhood a bit. Just, not having the freedom to play with other kids, being locked up inside just because I was too scared to be called names. I was too scared to feel worthless or useless. I think, growing up like that, it was very depressing, and it did a lot to me mentally. But I got better, obviously. But I would say childhood, it affected my childhood greatly.